From Heat A came M2, flicking shell shock out of the arena. Vader went 2. Then in round 2, they came across the seeded Pussycat with its vast experience.
The 9 seeds have gone out. The winners are M2.
We'd seen the power and FF flippability factor of M2. Could it withstand pressure from Tiberius 3 in the heat final? It was teased and tormented. It was worried, but it responded. Suddenly Tiberius 3 chased, pursued, dumped. M2 through. Another shock in Heat B. The seeded Terahertz had gone long before the final between the Grim Reaper and the Big Nipper. The Grim Reaper on top, then threatened, and it went to the judges.
And they've gone for Grim Reaper!
He went to form. At last, a seed going through. And number 5, Dan, the Scorpion. Eventually. And then in the heat final, defying the flail of IG88, Dan Tom Kia worthy winners. Time to feel the force of gravity in Heat D. Hydra did, the arena wall did, and let's be honest, we all did! And if that wasn't impressive enough, it was unlucky for 13 Black. Their number was up. And it was thunder against lightning. As gravity turned on a real power display, the most impressive yet. How could the reigning UK and European champions Tornado live up to that? They started poorly in their second round battle against Leveler 2 and looked concerned. No shock on the cards in the end. In the heat final, they feared a jab from Tetanus Booster. But Tornado stuns, runs, pushes, and in the end, something of a pushover. The reigning champs through. The number 11 seeds Exterminator looked hungry in Heat F. The Killer Carrot was on their lunch menu. And then in the heat final we saw the good and the bad of Exterminator. Flipped and vulnerable and very nearly out. Then the strength of the weaponry. Tsunami. No more than a ripple. As Exterminator blasted its way through. Spinning blades and formidable flippers. They're all tremendous weaponry, as Atomic showed in its first round of Heat G. Hellbent thrust out. Atomic working up ahead of steam before its on-thrust and onslaught into the seeded Smidsy. This was Atomic warfare. The number 15 seeds Ming Dynasty had gone out in round 1 of Heat H. In the final, St. Agro and Seros nearly fought each other to a standstill. Who would prove the stronger in the end? Matilda thrust Seros out. St. Agro through, despite the shirts. A reminder then that M2 are through to the series semi-finals. So too the Grim Reaper and the experienced Dan Tom Kia. Gravity looking awesome. Atomic another flipper. Tornado the reigning champs. Exterminator with power, also vulnerability, and St. Agro.
for the break for more down and dirty destruction in the heat final of Robot Wars.
Because one of these will also make the series semi-final. Storm 2 has power. Steel Avenger has the experience. Can it pick its moment? Ooh, If you've just joined us, you've missed the bump and grind of a terrific second-round battle between Steel Avenger and Rhino, who in the end went into the pits. Well, you got to laugh, haven't you? Or cry.
Welcome back to Robot Wars. We're after some of the most exciting battles we've ever seen on Robot Wars. We're down to our last two robots. I'll tell you what, this should be some heat final.
It's the number 16 seed Storm 2 against the wily, grizzled old Steel Avenger. I mean the machine, John Willoughby. Honest, you're down in the pits right now.
You are facing Storm 2 over there. They are a pretty powerful robot. I believe they've got 18 horsepower in that engine.
Yeah.
How are you gonna defend against that?
Well, every time they get in front of us, we can hit them with the axe, and I don't know, if everything lands in the right place, with a bit of luck, we might get something vital.
How are you feeling? You feeling nervous and confident?
I feel great. We're here for a good time, and we're going to really give it our best.
Okay, Storm 2 heat final. You're up against Steel Avenger. What's your tactics?
Okay, well, Steel Avenger's a real veteran. We haven't seen them for a couple of wars, but they're back again, and they're doing rather well for an old robot. The advantage we've got is that they're not built as strong as some of them are these days. So we're hoping that a few good knocks into some arena walls or some house robots will dislodge something and bend them enough to stop them moving. I think that it's going to be the pit for them, I'm afraid.
This is what the war zone was made for. It's the heat final!
Steel Avenger.
Can it last the distance? John Willoughby, Jackie Willoughby, Tony Bates will have their thoughts.
Storm 2.
Ed Hoppett, Tim Bence and Merrill Kolak, very confident, I would imagine, with Storm 2. Who are our confident machines in the arena? Grab.
3, 2.
Storm 2, already off and underway. Up to 23 miles an hour, top speeds. Oh! Himself onto the floor and was lucky to get away. The 1 centimetre ground clearance exposed as Storm 2 drove it underneath again. 18 horsepower. Tries to take on the ref bot Storm 2. In underneath Steel Avenger again. Let me remind you, they were new blood champions, Storm 2. They won that title. To qualify for this, the UK the 7th Wars. And they are taking it by storm. But Steel Avenger, as we've mentioned time and time again, so experienced. Fighting in a 4th Wars and buffeting Storm 2. Not causing great damage, I would imagine. What are they trying to do? Just wear Storm 2 down by dancing away. Storm 2 pressurising. Steel Avenger running away. And again turning for safety in space. In the war zone. Pursue! Crumpled out! Gone! Storm 2, the heat winners, and through to the series semi-final. And a shake of the head by John Willoughby because he knew Steel Avenger, simply in the end, couldn't avoid defeat. Storm 2 picked it up, drove, and hammered it out. The power of the charge rippled the plexiglass that surrounds the Warzone arena. And the Storm 2 team delighted.
Who needs a flipper when you've got a robot like that? Steel Avenger out of the arena, Storm 2, they go through to the series semi-finals! Hey, Steel Avenger, you've been avenged.
I think we have.
Ooh, talk me through that. He hasn't even got a flipper. How did he get you out of the arena?
Don't know, sheer brute force and ignorance, I think.
The speed of the thing as well.
Yeah, I know, well, it never really got going for us. It's just trying to get in the right place at the right time.
I know you're disappointed, but
I am.
how did you think you were going to take it apart then?
Well, I know he's got a couple of vulnerable slots where the chains aren't. If we can get the axe in there, we might be in with a chance. But you've just got to get exactly the right position.
Well, I mean, you've got some power in that axe.
Yeah.
I never thought you were going to get off the arena floor.
Yeah, I was wondering myself for a while. I thought that's a quick fight, isn't it?
So, I mean, I thought if the axe would have landed on the robot, you stood a chance of making a perforation.
Well, it's a fast-moving target. It was always going to be hard. So.
What do you think of this robot here?
It's very good.
Yeah. You think they stand a chance? Do you think they out-tornado?
They probably do, I reckon.
Yeah. Is that retired Steel Avenger now? Is Steel Avenger retired?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. The new one will come back next year.
So the new one coming back.
Yeah, meaner, harder.
It's kind of an inauspicious ending for it, really.
Yeah, well, never mind. It came here, it put on a reasonable show, I think. We had a bit of fun and it was good.
Written on the bottom of the robot, who did that?
Yeah, he did.
They did. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Steel Avenger.
Didn't expect that to happen. We thought we'll just pummel them into the corner, and before we knew it, they were just off.
It was just a massive blow, though.
Well, I don't think we've really ever rammed someone into the wall as hard as we can. We've never really given it full throttle across the whole arena with someone on the front, and we thought, let's see what happens. And now we know.
It must be quite satisfying, all that work, to see it come together in such an explosive way. It must feel great.
It is. It's been a lot of work to get a weapon in there. Yeah, we're a New Blood winner, and we did that without a weapon. It took so much work to get the weapon in there. It's great to see it still performing as it did in Robot Wars Extreme in the New Blood.
Well, listen, you're through to the series semi-finals. Loads of flippers. How do you think you're going to live up to them?
The biggest worry about a flipper is us getting near the edge and going out. We run both ways up, and we know it'll take the knocks. The knock it dishes out for itself. It has to take them. So we know it'll take the knocks, but we're worried about going out of the arena.
Listen, matey boy, with some of the flippers in those pits, you don't even need to be near the edge.
I know.
You know, they're so powerful now.
They've got to catch us first.
They can throw you clean out the arena. But you are probably the fastest robot. What is the top speed there?
It's 25 miles an hour. It's faster than Growler.
That's wicked, isn't it?
It's great fun to drive. It's like a big radio-controlled car.
How come it's got so much power?
The motors are particularly powerful. They're particularly specialist motors. Through some speed controls we've had custom designed by the Tornado team.
Yeah. So they helped you out there.
As adversarial as it all looks, we had a lot of help from Dave Gamble from Tornado.
Now, do you think they might be living or learning to regret that?
I think there's probably a certain element of, oh my God, what have we done?
What have we created? Well, they've created, or helped you create, a stunning robot.
Thank you.
Looking forward to seeing you in the series semi-finals. Raise the roof for Storm 2! Well, if I was you, I'd stay indoors. There's a Storm 2 brewing on Robot Wars. Bye-bye.